good morning. How are you guys doing today? Hope all is well. So, I was thinking about, how I want to restructure the channel. So what I'm going to do is, I want to eliminate how I normally talk and then tell you to try it, then I talk, and then we play, talk, play, talk, play. I'm going to separate it where the first section, I'm going to just talk. So you don't even need your ukulele for the first section. Then we'll go to that little break, that intro thing, and then the second half we'll just play. Okay, so, and also I will try to be as specific as I can, especially with detailed information. So let's do it. So today, what I want to do is talk about playing to a metronome. Okay, so
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
okay, so when we strum, I want you to try to practice to a metronome. And playing to a metronome it can be really tricky and a little discouraging. And I know a lot of students have a hard time strumming to a metronome. And then they start to feel like they don't have rhythm or their timing is just bad. But that's really not the case. The thing is, you just have to know how to focus and what to listen for. Okay, so this is the true test to see if you have rhythm or not. Okay, can you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 with the metronome?
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Then you have rhythm. Okay, now here's the part. This is the part that makes it tricky. Okay, so if you count to the metronome,
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4
what
and
you have
1
to do
and
is
2 and 3 and
really focus on the metronome, right? On the metronome, and then you count with it.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1.
So that's really important. Now if you can do that, then you have rhythm. What happens all the time though is when you start trying to strum something to the metronome, you start focusing on your fingers here, maybe the chords, or you're focusing on your right hand, and then you automatically stop listening to the metronome. And then you're just trying to play, and then all of a sudden you go
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
And you realize that you're not on the beat, and you can't tell if you're ahead of the beat or behind the beat. All you can tell is that it doesn't sound right. Okay, so what I want you to do is, now that we know you can count to the metronome, okay, so that's a given. Okay, what we have to do is when we practice strumming, we have to train ourselves to count 1, 2, 3, 4 while we strum. Okay, so if we go back to this strumming where we're using our skin, okay, instead of just going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, think 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you just want to practice counting and strumming. And then even if we throw in an accent here, for example, on this down, it would just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's try doing this on the 2 and 4. Those are our accents. So now we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay. Now if you do this enough times, where you just start practicing and you count, okay, you'll get comfortable doing it. And what you'll notice is it's actually really hard to count at a certain tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then make your hands play at a different tempo. Okay, that's actually really, really difficult to do. So you have to think of your hands as they're just dancing. They're dancing to the beat. So if I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So my hands are just dancing to this beat. And wherever I want to accent, like the 2s and 4s, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So if I get really good at strumming and really comfortable at strumming while counting, all I have to do is count to the metronome and my hands will just dance.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
So when I use different strum patterns, I always try to practice, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and then if I'm gonna strum to the metronome, I'm just going to focus on counting with it, or at least counting in my head, and I'm just going to let my hands dance. Okay, so that's the trick to playing to the metronome. If you cannot count while you're strumming, you're going to have a really, really hard time. Okay, and what I like to think of the numbers as your checkpoint. Okay, because sometimes if you only can count the one, like one, one, one. Okay, what happens is your one will always be on the beat if you focus, you know, on the ones. But if you don't know where the 2, 3s, and 4s are, this is the area where you might actually slow down or speed up. Okay? So hopefully you won't sound like this.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
That's what it's gonna sound like when you're only focusing on the ones. So you want to get comfortable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and you just count.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and.
Okay, so that's the trick to playing to a metronome. And you know, just because you have a hard time playing doesn't mean that you have bad rhythm. Okay, if you can count to it, then you must have pretty good rhythm, right? Because this is going to a beat, and you're just counting along 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but the trick is when you start to focus on your left hand or your right hand, you automatically stop listening to the metronome, and then all of a sudden you get lost. Okay, so just remember that your hands are just dancing to the beat that you're to the count in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so practice that, get really good at that, and then you're gonna notice that all of a sudden now you can strum to a metronome. And it's really fun, well for me anyways, it's fun to strum to a metronome because it kind of makes it more like a game, right? Like Guitar Hero or something like that, where you know there's a beat and you have to follow, right? So your hands are just kind of dancing, your fingers kind of dancing, but without the metronome, you know, you're just playing and there's really no drive, right? So hopefully you understand that, and then next we'll just play together. All right, let's do it. Okay, so hopefully we have our ukuleles out and we're gonna listen to this.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2.
So we're gonna strum at around that tempo, and we're gonna use this strum pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3. So you don't have to say the ands. You can just say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So give it a try. Make sure you're comfortable doing that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, make sure you're not going like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the counting should always come first. So your hands have to learn to dance to the way that you count. Okay, not trying to time it like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you count first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, and just let your hands dance. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, so let's do that together.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and.
So all I'm doing is counting to the metronome and letting my hands dance. Okay? Now let's try accent on that 1 there. Okay, so that's our big one.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and.
Let's try we'll add this up. Now we're going to accent this up. Okay, so now it's going to sound something like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, now if you're just starting off, a lot of people have a hard time with this up. Okay, and the reason for that is because you're counting. Right? You're probably just saying 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but the thing with the up is you're not going to say a number. So you have to kind of, as you see a number, it makes you want to shrug, right? But it's actually going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this up is actually in between the 2 and the 3. So for this drum pattern, I would suggest trying to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, that's the accent. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3.
So hopefully that works out. It's working for you. And if it's not, just give it time. Okay? But now you know that to play to a metronome, you have to be able to count. Okay? If you cannot count and you're just playing to a metronome and your timing is way off and you cannot tell if you're ahead of the beat or behind the beat, most instructors might say just keep practicing and it'll get better. And in most cases that's correct, but I think if you're just strumming and you have no knowledge of the 1, 2, 3, 4 and you're just playing and you notice it doesn't sound good, I wouldn't suggest keep trying it because now you're just trying to get lucky, right? You have to know that, oh, you're late on the 1, or you're late on the 2, or you're late on the 3, or you're early on the 4. Okay, so if you can realize those things, then you can actually start teaching yourself to count and strum correctly. And then when you play with the metronome, it should be no problem, okay? And anyways, being able to feel that the beat, when you're playing is really, really important. If you ever go to a concert, someone's singing a song or someone's playing the ukulele, it would sound really funny, right? If the band is playing together, and you have to know that the thing that keeps the band together is that beat, okay? So they're all feeling the same tempo, okay? But it would sound really, really funny if there was one guy in the band just yelling in the mic, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and and everybody else is playing together. So of course you don't do that. So drums, when drums come in, you have to realize that's what they're doing. They're actually replacing the metronome, and instead of just a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and they're giving you some kind of groove. But you have to think of it as like a secret code where you're listening to this groove and you can hear that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and then you just play. That's how musicians play together. Okay, it's all based on a beat or a tempo. Okay, so give this a try. You can use the strum patterns, like I said, the down and the up. Try the 2 and the 4. That's a very common beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, and make sure you count. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. All right, have a good one, you guys. Have a great day. I'll see y'all soon. All right.